For decades, the fight against cancer has been this incredible story of human ingenuity. But what's happening right now is a total game changer. A brand new ally is joining the battle, a digital co-pilot that could completely revolutionize how we find, treat, and maybe even cure this disease. Yep, we're talking about artificial intelligence.
And believe me, the need for some backup has never been more urgent. Take a look at this number, 35 million. That is the projected number of new cancer cases we're expecting worldwide by 2050. I mean, that's a scale that's almost impossible to wrap your head around, and it just shows you the massive, massive challenge we're facing.
So where do you even start with a problem that big? I mean, our current methods are amazing, don't get me wrong, but they have their limits. When you're facing a crisis on this kind of scale, you need a totally new kind of tool. Something that can work with a speed and a precision and an insight that's just, well, beyond what we humans can do on our own.
Okay, so to really get why this is so important, we have to first appreciate just how monumental this challenge really is. It's not just about those staggering numbers. It's also about some of the built-in limitations of our very human-led processes in cancer care.
And this right here really gets to the heart of it. Think about something like a colonoscopy. It's the gold standard for screening, right? But its effectiveness can be, well, it can be all over the place. It really depends on the skill and experience of the doctor doing it. That variability means polyps, even lesions can get missed. And that's exactly the kind of situation where having a super consistent data-driven tool could literally save lives.
And boom, that's where AI comes in. Now, it's not here to replace our brilliant doctors and researchers. Not at all. The best way to think about it is as the ultimate assistant, a digital co-pilot sitting right there beside them, boosting their skills and helping them navigate the insane complexity of cancer.
So what are we really talking about when we say AI here? Well, put simply, it's a system that's been trained on just massive amounts of medical data. It learns to spot these incredibly subtle patterns in all that information, patterns in scans, in genetic code, in patient histories, and then it uses those patterns to make predictions, sometimes seeing connections that are practically invisible to the human eye.
And this isn't some brand new idea. The whole concept of thinking machines actually goes all the way back to the 1950s. But what's changed is the insane exponential progress we've seen lately. We've gone from early machine learning to these incredibly powerful transformer models, the same kind of tech behind ChatGPT, and that's what's finally making AI a real, viable force in medicine.
So what's the big advantage? The real superpower of this AI copilot is its ability to see the entire picture for a single patient. It's not just looking at one scan here or one lab result over there in isolation. No, it's designed to pull in and make sense of all these different kinds of information at the exact same time.
Researchers have a fancy name for this, multimodal data fusion. But really, what it means is that the AI can look at a patient's CT scan, their tumor's unique genetic code, the microscopic details on a tissue slide, and their entire medical history, and see how it all fits together. It's creating this incredibly rich, layered view that honestly would be impossible for a human to process all at once.
Okay, but this isn't just a cool theory, right? AI is already out there, being used, and getting some truly incredible results. So let's dive into what we're calling its 3 superpowers that are making a real difference as we speak.
All right, superpower number 1, seeing the unseen. This is where AI has made probably its biggest splash so far in early detection. We're talking about algorithms that can scan medical images and spot these tiny, almost invisible clues of a new cancer that could easily be missed.
And this table just illustrates that perfectly. In a huge study looking at mammograms in the US, an AI system working with radiologists actually cut down the number of false positives by almost 6%. Now, what does that mean? It means fewer women going through the incredible stress and invasive follow-up tests for no reason. It's a huge deal, and it did it without losing accuracy.
Okay, superpower number 2, personalizing the fight. We have to remember that cancer isn't just one disease, it's thousands of different diseases, and AI is helping us finally move past that one-size-fits-all approach. It does this by digging into a tumor's unique genetic and biological fingerprint to help pick the perfect treatment for that specific person.
So how exactly does it do that? Well, an AI model can look at a tumor's genes and predict, hey, this one is probably going to be resistant to that drug. Or, even crazier, it can look at a standard tissue slide, just a regular slide, and predict a really complex biomarker that tells doctors whether a patient would be a good fit for immunotherapy. It's all about matching the right patient to the right treatment from day one.
And that brings us to the 3rd superpower, which honestly might be the most exciting of all, accelerating the cure. Finding new cancer drugs is just an incredibly slow, ridiculously expensive process. We're talking a decade, billions of dollars. AI is set to completely flip that on its head.
Just look at this number. 21 days. That is how long it took a generative AI model to design, create, and test a brand new potential drug for a specific cancer target. A process that would normally take years was squashed down into 3 weeks. That's not just an improvement, that's a total game changer for the speed of medical discovery.
Okay, so as exciting as all this sounds, and it is, we need to take a breath and have a little reality check. Actually, getting these powerful tools into our hospitals and clinics isn't so simple. There are some really big hurdles we have to get over to make sure this tech is used safely and, well, that it actually works for everyone.
And the challenges are pretty huge. You've got to worry about patient data privacy and security. You have the very real risk of bias baked into the algorithms. Then there's the whole complex world of getting regulatory approval. And on top of all that, you have to prove these things are reliable and that they can actually scale up to be used in all sorts of different hospitals and with different groups of people.
This whole issue of bias is a perfect example. See, an AI model is only as smart as the data you feed it. So if a major data set, like the Cancer Genome Atlas, is made up of, say, 83% data from people of European ancestry, well, the AI trained on that might just not work as well for patients from other backgrounds. It's a huge challenge to make sure the data we use actually looks like the diverse world we live in.
And of course, you can't just, plug a new algorithm into a hospital and see what happens. Every single one of these tools, long before it ever gets near a real patient, has to go through years of super tough testing and validation to get a green light from places like the FDA. It's absolutely essential for safety, but it's also a big reason why we don't see these things rolled out overnight.
So, okay, challenges are real, but what does the future of this fight actually look like? Well, the big vision here is one of deep, deep collaboration. It's a future where human expertise gets a massive boost from artificial intelligence, letting us achieve breakthroughs that right now we can only dream about.
And if there's one thing to take away, it's this, and this comes straight from the researchers working on this stuff. AI is a tool, an incredibly powerful, transformative tool for sure, but its job is to assist, not replace. The future is all about the partnership between the human expert and their digital co-pilot.
And this next quote, it just paints this absolutely mind-bending picture of what that partnership could look like. Imagine a future AI, maybe a GPT-8, where you can just ask it to cure a certain type of cancer. And it would read everything, all the research ever done. And then it would come back and say, okay, I need you to find a scientist to run these 9 experiments and tell me what happens. It's about the AI guiding us step by step toward the solution.
And that vision, it just leaves us with this huge final question, doesn't it? In a world where an AI can actually draw the map to a cure, what's our role going to be? Well, maybe it's to be the ones who ask the right questions, the ones who run the crucial experiments, and the ones who bring those uniquely human things, creativity, empathy, and ethical judgment, to the biggest challenges humanity has ever faced.